Okay guys, this is that shape that I had where I'm planning on putting the handle hopefully in the right place so that the user's knuckle just sits in there. It's just like one of my favorite little mug shapes. Looks a little funky and got a little bit of character to it, and that's what I'm hopefully going for. In any case, we will also have taught you a way to turn the wheel and put your finger close to your pot until it gets to a point where it actually touches, and when it does, that's when you stop it. If it touches here, then you move it this way a little bit. And you do that until you've become satisfied with it being centered. I can't stand doing it that way, I'm sorry. It takes for me longer to do it that way than the way I'm about to show you. And pull me aside in class, we'll go over how to practice it. But basically it's called tap centering. I set the pot down on the wheel, I get the wheel turning, and then I start by tapping, and I'm looking straight down here and I'm averaging out where I want it to be as far as centered. And as it gets closer, I tap a little less. So I like that. I want to center the trimming against this outside node. I can see here that this is moving back and forth because I pulled the wire there or something that's different, but that's fine because I can trim past that. So I'm satisfied with this being on center and this fairly being on center. And there's a little bit of wobble there, but I'm okay with that because I'm not going to go all the way down there. And by the time I have a handle on there and it's a functional piece, nobody's going to take some calipers to it. And if they do, they should be looking for the slip cast press mold type mugs, because this is the nature of handmade. You're gonna have a few little variations here and there, and that's part of its character. So now I've got it where I think it's centered good enough. I usually give it a tap down and then I'll test it. It's fine. Well, maybe not. Need more water. I talked too much there and it pulled up. So the water is what seals it. Okay, I like that. So now I'm going to tap it down. I'll test it. That's good. Throughout this process, I'll probably put a finger down and make sure that I don't push it off or muscle it off, which can happen if you really want to be safe. And this is another way to do it is put your wads of clay down. And then what you do is you press down against the wheel head, not into your pot, but against the wheel head or your bat. And I've been pretty generous with these clumps of clay here, just to show you how to push it down. So you want to push against the downwards, because if you push in, there's a chance that you'll affect the rim. So I tend to favor these smaller tools when I'm doing mugs, but I'll show you this one because this is what you guys have in your kits, your beginner's kits. The first thing I do, I have before I put this thing down, I put my fingers inside of there and kind of made a mental note of how much that I can trim. I have decided, and I put a little mark with my fingernail there before I put it down. Wasn't able to show you that, but that I can go in this far and then I can clean this part of it up. Now I could actually stop there, but I'm gonna take a little more weight off because this shape doesn't lend itself, to me anyway, to have too much weight at the bottom. And there's a little variation there that I don't like, so I'm just going to lightly shave it to where I do like it. I'm going to establish where I want it to be as far as level goes. I've cleaned off basically any kind of markings that happened while after I wired it off. Now, some people can do feet or like feet on their mugs. I tend to just like a little bit of concave, or shall we say convex. The middle part, it should be pretty flat down there. When I stuck my fingers in there to look at this, it's fairly flat, but I don't have a whole lot of room. So I'm just going to bring it outwards, establish where I want the outside. And you can see this is just me, but I tend to put a lot of speed on it because of all the functions that you're doing while you're making pots like this or on the wheel. This is the one that's most similar to doing a woodworking lathe or machining. Now I'm going to use a smaller one because I have more control. See how I've braced everything here, and then I'm bracing the tool. I like that. Another good thing about tap centering and then setting your pot down with suction is you can really bring your tool all the way down to where the pot meets the wheel head. My wheel is making noise again. I'm going to have to really work on that, I think.